Hi everyone, it's Tom Panos here giving you a heads up. Tonight's Sunday Night Rant is going to be a useful guide, a practical, useful template when tragedy strikes, when suffering starts to emerge somewhere. And at the moment, for a lot of New South Wales, Victoria, parts of South Australia, that's fires. For other people, it's other things that cause tragedy. But what I'm going to share with you is around 7 to 10 practical things that people can do that are useful in actually ease the suffering. I'm going to allow people to do things and think of things that don't include money, because there are people that aren't in a position to actually donate money, whereas most people could donate something. But there are examples, and I'm looking at people in the real estate gym that have really stepped up, and I'm going to make some references to them. Christine Brown, who has gone and has been a volunteer as a support firefighter, the Lower Hunter. Just go into her profile, Christine Pexis Brown, outstanding effort, and Zoran Valevsky from Crown Property at Bexley, who has been fighting the fires day in, day out. Then you've got some creative ideas that have come from people like Andrea Tucker, another great real estate gym member who owns the office in Mollymook Ulladulla for McGrath. And what she's been able to do, and if you go on and look at her post, they've been able to go in and to allow the homeless, and that area has been hit quite badly, the homeless people that have been affected by the bushfires, the McGrath office and their amazing clients have gone off and offered free of charge holiday homes. So what you do is you have a look at what you can do to be useful. And I can tell you, one of the things that's not useful at the moment is sitting there sort of saying, this person here is to blame, global warming, the Prime Minister, and then you've got other people that, say, our thoughts are with us. Look, thoughts are important, and if you believe in prayer, prayer is important. But when you go down to a tangible, practical level, you turn around and say, hey, what can I do, instead of just sitting there being a grandstand commentator. And again, this is really interesting, because one of the reasons why there's all this conversation and the agenda is happening right now, I mean, the truth is the fires will probably continue going for quite some time. But of course, in the next week or so, what you'll probably find is the Telegraph and the Courier Mail and the Herald Sun and the Sydney Morning Herald and, TV news reports won't carry it as the front page story. And it's just an example of the power of media. Even when you actually think that the media has totally been dislodged, the truth is the media controls the conversation people have. The truth is there is suffering all the time. I mean, just to give you a statistic here, we've got, I think up to 30 people have actually died in the fire so far. But in fact, suffering and tragedy is happening all the time. It's just that it's not in your face, i.e. 55,000 people in Australia alone last year died of cancer. Not diagnosis. There was a hell of a lot more diagnosis, and many of those are terminal. But I'm actually saying 55,000 people actually died. But what actually happens is we as people very much are subconsciously affected by what's happening in the media. And I have to say, they're doing a very good job, because at the moment they're allocating, most of their front page stories, most of the headline stories on TV and of course radio have been extremely useful. But what I want to do today is just go through some useful things you can do, because I can tell you, just donating some things actually is not that useful. In fact, if you read some of the reports that these charity organizations have actually outlined, is that sometimes people are going off and dumping stuff over, thinking that they're helping, but in fact what they're doing is they're prohibiting and they're making things more difficult than they have to be. So there are certain things that are useful that you donate, and I'm going to give you a couple of organizations that don't take money but actually take food items, and they're trusted and reliable organizations, because there are simple things like, certain foods are useful and certain foods are not useful. So I'm going to run that, but I'm also going to run through the Sunday night rant. The truth is that you're pretty much only a phone call away, a conversation away, a random act of kindness away to anyone that is suffering that is suffering. Guys and girls, signing off. See you tonight at 8:30.